Anna had always known that life would never be easy for her, not after the night her world shattered when the men she loved disappeared without a word, leaving her with nothing but a broken heart and the growing life inside her. Yet she chose to be strong. She chose to raise her daughter Lily with love, care, and courage even when the world turned its back on her, even when bills piled up and every job application was rejected, even when hospitals demanded payments she couldn't afford. But Anna never gave up. She fought through hunger, loneliness, and endless tears, always whispering to her little girl that tomorrow would be better, though she herself doubted it sometimes. And on one particularly cold morning, when Lily's fever refused to go down and her little body trembled with weakness, Anna found herself desperate, caught between losing her job and leaving her daughter alone at home, something she could never do. So she made the impossible choice. She carried Lily in her arms and took her to the towering building where she worked as a cleaner, a place where her presence was invisible, her existence unnoticed among the marble floors, glass walls, and powerful men and women walking by in suits worth more than her entire month's salary. And as she entered the grand lobby with her sick child wrapped in a small blanket, the receptionist raised her brow and the guard frowned. Children were not allowed in the building, but Anna's trembling voice pleaded. She begged them softly, explaining she had no choice, that her daughter was ill and she couldn't leave her behind. And though rules were strict, sometimes humanity still lingered in the hardest hearts, so the guard turned away, pretending not to see, while Anna carried Lily inside, whispering her thanks with tears threatening to spill, and she placed her daughter on a small chair in the corner of the hallway, giving her the worn-out stuffed bunny that was her comfort, while she herself began to mop the shiny floors, dust the polished tables, and wipe fingerprints off the crystal-clear windows, every stroke of her hand carrying the weight of her struggles, every breath reminding her that she was hanging by a thread. But she smiled through it, because Lily was watching, and mothers often hide their pain behind a mask of courage. Yet as the day dragged on and Lily's cough grew harsher, Anna's heart broke a little more, whispering soft stories of princesses and castles to distract her daughter, wishing she could give her that kind of life, unaware that fate was silently arranging the most unexpected encounter of her life. Because when the elevator chimed open, footsteps echoed against the marble, and out stepped Alexander Grant, the CEO himself, the man every employee feared and admired, tall, broad-shouldered, commanding in his navy blue suit, his eyes sharp as steel yet carrying shadows of loneliness no one dared to see, and he walked with purpose until his gaze landed on something unusual. Something out of place in his pristine world. He saw a little girl, pale yet glowing with innocence, clutching a stuffed bunny, her golden curls framing her delicate face, and in that instant something inside him stirred, something buried long ago. And when the girl's soft voice broke the silence, calling out a single word, "Daddy," the universe itself seemed to stop, the employees passing by froze, the air thickened, and Alexander's usually steady steps faltered, his chest tightening, his mind reeling. Because he had not been called that word in years, not since he turned his back on love to chase wealth, not since he abandoned the only woman who truly saw the men beneath the money. And his eyes, wide with disbelief, shot toward Anna, who had dropped her rag, her face pale as if she had seen a ghost, her lips trembling with fear and shame, because she knew the truth had finally caught her, the secret she had carried for years now standing in front of the men who had given her both love and heartbreak. And Alexander, speechless, took a step closer, his voice rough as he demanded an answer, asking if this child was his, while Anna's eyes filled with tears, torn between anger and sorrow, between protecting her daughter and exposing the past she had hidden for so long. But Lily, innocent and pure, didn't understand the storm. She simply stretched out her tiny hand toward him, a small smile tugging at her lips, because children recognize love even when adults bury it under mistakes. And in that moment Alexander's walls began to crack, his heart remembering what it meant to care, his mind flooded with memories of the woman who once meant everything to him, the woman standing before him now, trembling but strong. And as the silence thickened, Anna finally whispered the truth, her voice breaking as she admitted Lily was his daughter, that she had raised her alone because he had chosen money over family. And Alexander, though powerful, though feared by thousands, found himself powerless before the gaze of a child who called him Daddy. And for the first time in years, he felt weak, vulnerable, yet alive. And as he knelt down to look into Lily's tired eyes, he realized that all the wealth, all the success, all the skyscrapers he owned meant nothing compared to this single moment, compared to the chance he had lost but maybe could reclaim. And while Anna watched in silence, torn between hope and pain, Alexander vowed silently that he would not let this chance slip away again, that he would fight to prove he could be the father Lily deserved. And though the road ahead was uncertain, though the wounds of the past ran deep, destiny had brought them together again, giving them a chance at healing, love, and a future none of them expected. And dear viewers, this is just the beginning of a journey filled with heartbreak, forgiveness, and miracles. So if you want to know how Alexander redeems himself, how Anna learns to trust again, and how Lily's innocent love changes Everything. Make sure you stay with us and subscribe to the channel, because the next chapter will touch your heart even more deeply.